What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Harrison Graham here from Chat Sports, getting you caught up on the latest Chiefs rumors and news ahead of that Week 4 matchup against the Detroit Lions. 3-0 start, off to a good start are the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll preview that matchup later on in the show, but first, got to get you caught up on the latest surrounding Jaguars cornerback Jalen Ramsey and whether or not the Chiefs should make a move. Couple of different angles to go here. First, the report coming out is that the Jaguars are having second thoughts on trading Jalen Ramsey. That quote from Terez Paylor that covers the Chiefs and the rest of the NFL as well. The price has to be right for the Chiefs. That's the point Taylor made in this recent interview he did in Kansas City. Look, we all know Jalen Ramsey wants out of Jacksonville, but if you're Kansas City, the question is, how much are you willing to give up to get the star cornerback? Also, you've got this coming out today, this even more recently. The report was that he was expected to be back at the Jags facility today. He's banged up with back and hamstring issues. We'll get Schefter's tweet up in just a second about these fabricated injuries coming out of Jacksonville, it seems. Can this saga just end already? Obviously, this is not going to end well. Ramsey doesn't want to be there. He's not going to sign an extension or anything like that. Here's Adam Schefter. With Jaguars cornerback Jalen Ramsey not practicing today due to what the team is reporting as a back injury, it's far-fetched to think he will play in Sunday's game. However, per sources, Ramsey and the Jaguars are engaged in a stare-down about a potential trade. So we're kind of at this standstill in Jacksonville. Jacksonville wants 2 first-round picks. Ramsey wants out of there. Now it's a matter of who's willing to pay up. Here are the latest odds on the top 5 teams, best 5 teams odds on where Jalen Ramsey will be playing next, because I think his time in Jacksonville is over. Chiefs are at top, just saying, 5-2 odds. That is the best odds out there. You got the Patriots at 5-1, Oakland Raiders at 6-1. They suck. That's not going to happen. Saints at 9-1, and then the Titans at 9-1 as well. Don't see the Titans having. I think it's Chiefs, Patriots, Saints out of those 5 make the most sense, with Kansas City clearly making the most sense. This is what the secondary would look like if Jalen Ramsey came on board. Look, you put Charvarius Ward on the bench, which is a good thing. He has not been good early on in this season. Breeland's been pretty good. You slide him as your number 2 corner. Kendall Fuller's played better the past couple of weeks. And then I've talked about Juan Thornhill and Tyrann Mathieu. I like that safety combo, but you need that top-notch cornerback to complete that back end. That is what Jalen Ramsey would provide for this Chiefs defense. So, question is simple. Should the Chiefs trade for Jalen Ramsey? Type Y for yes, type N for no. We talked trade packages on last week's show. A lot of you guys commented, appreciated that. Didn't get to 100 trade package comments, so that's why I'm not shouting any of you guys out. Got to overachieve here on the Chiefs report. Type Y for yes, type N for no. If you think the Chiefs should trade for Jalen Ramsey, let me know in the comments section. Today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Go bet on the Chiefs to beat the Lions in Week 4. Currently 7.5-point favorites. They like Kansas City on the road in Detroit. We'll talk about that matchup a little bit more later on. Use that promo code NFL120. You can sign up at chatsports.com/bet. I think the Chiefs are going to improve to 4-0. So should you. Also, another tip here, bet the over every week. Kansas City is playing it. They've hit the over by a good margin all 3 games so far. Everybody's saying, oh, this Ravens defense is going to slow them down. Did not happen. Go bet at BetDSI, bet the over, bet on the Chiefs against the Lions. It's going to be a big win this weekend. Chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120. Could Tyreek Hill be coming back sooner rather than later? It seems that way. Look, the initial worry was that it could be an 8-week injury and that they were weighing whether or not to put him on IR. Did not do that, decided not to put him on IR. And Andy Reid said earlier this week, look, he's bouncing around. He wants to go. Here's the thing. You don't want to rush this if you're the Chiefs. He's considered week to week at this point, which is much better than the possibility of missing 8 weeks, which was realistic a couple of weeks ago. I certainly don't think he'll play this week, but he could be back in the next couple of games, which would certainly help. Here's Andy Reid's full quote. He's doing good. He's hard to hold down. He's wired different. Not more than everybody in this building, but everybody in this room right here. He's different. He's bouncing around and wants to go. But this one here, the doctors really have to keep checking on him. We'll see how the time frame goes. That's his quote on Tyreek Hill. Look, he's dealing with that clavicle injury. The last thing you want to do is rush him back too fast and make that injury worse and it ends up being a fractured collarbone. I would take my time here. By the way, no Hill, no problem, right? Look at what these guys have done without Tyreek Hill. Sammy Watkins, 20 grabs, 311 yards, second in the NFL in yards, including a 68-yard touchdown, all three of his scores in Week 1. Demarcus Robinson, all he's doing is catching one-handed touchdowns. McCole Hardman, the rookie out of Georgia, he stepped up nicely, 83-yard touchdown last week. Travis Kelce, still Travis Kelce. He does what he does. This offense has not missed a beat. Now, am I saying they don't need Tyreek Hill? Of course not. What I am saying is you want him fully healthy down the stretch and heading into the playoffs. Don't rush this if you're the Chiefs. Here's the next 5 games on Kansas City's schedule. At Detroit this Sunday. Don't expect him to play there. You play the Colts next week at home and then the Texans at home as well. Then you go to Denver, then you play Green Bay. I said a couple of weeks ago when we talked about the injury coming out that Green Bay is the game I would eyeball. Maybe Denver or Houston is a realistic possibility now if this injury timetable is speeding up. I wouldn't expect to see him the next 2 weeks, but I think starting with Houston, that is a real possibility. Want to hear from you guys. What will be Tyreek Hill's first game back? Let me know in the comments down below. I will say Denver on Thursday Night Football in 3 weeks or so will be his first game back. That's when I think he will come back. But let me know if you think he will play as early as this week. I don't think it's going to happen, but be an overachiever. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, while you're doing that, we're going to give you an opportunity to win some money. Here's what you got to do. You got to like this video and you've got to subscribe to Chat Sports. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Stay tuned for a chance to win some money. There's going to be an opportunity, but you got to watch the rest of the show. Later in the show, we're going to give you an opportunity. So like this video, subscribe to Chat Sports, and you will have a chance to win some money. Stay tuned to find out more information on how you can do just that. Okay, Damian Williams, let's get you caught up on his injury. He missed last week's game against the Ravens with a knee injury. Don't think it's too serious. They're describing it as a bone bruise, which 2 to 3 weeks typically is what you're looking at there. Darrell Williams, LaShawn McCoy kind of split time last week. They both were pretty effective. I said the Chiefs should take time with Tyreek Hill. You should really take time with Damian Williams because there's just no reason for it. All 3 or 4 of these backs on this roster are capable. Look at what Darrell Williams and LaShawn McCoy did last week. Williams had a great game, 9 carries for 62 yards, also caught 5 balls for 47 yards, played 37 snaps. LaShawn McCoy was banged up with an ankle coming into this game as well, was kind of in and out of the lineup during the game, only got 26 snaps, but he was averaging almost 7 yards a carry as well with 8 carries for 54 yards, caught 3 passes as well. Look, this offense isn't predicated on the run game. We know that. It's a running back by committee. I think all in all, these Chiefs backs have gotten it done. Grade the running back committee so far. I think it's a solid B. Week 2 was pretty poor against Oakland, but last week, very effective against the Ravens. Week 1, pretty good as well. I think it's been a solid B so far, and that's really all you need with this passing arsenal with Patrick Mahomes leading the way. So I would give it a B. Let me know how you would grade these running backs so far in the comments section. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, let's have some fun here, all right? Troy Aikman taking shots at the Kansas City quarterback? Kind of. Here's the deal. The Athletic Kansas City tweeted a stat about Mahomes in reference to Aikman. Let's put up the quote from this tweet here. Joshua Briscoe on the Times Hours podcast through The Athletic. He's a sports radio guy in Kansas City. Here's the quote on the podcast, which they later tweeted out. Troy Aikman played 165 games in his NFL career. Patrick Mahomes is now 20 games into his career, and Patrick Mahomes has thrown 36% of Troy Aikman's career touchdowns in about 8% of the games. Troy Aikman did not like this, so he responded with this tweet and said, in case you missed it, talk to me when he has 33% of my Super Bowl titles. Well, Troy, he started 1 season. He's only had 1 year where he could have even had a Super Bowl. So let's look at the career stats so far, side by side. 165 games for Aikman, 20 for Mahomes. You know, he's got about 5 times the amount of yardage Aikman does. Obviously, Mahomes is a more accurate guy, 67% to 61.5. Touchdown interception ratio, much better. Look, I give Aikman the benefit of the doubt. Different era. That Cowboys team was predicated on the run game. Emmitt Smith, we all know that. Here's the deal, though. He wants to make it all about winning, like, oh, Mahomes isn't winning yet. Let's compare their age 23 season, shall we? Patrick Mahomes, 12-4. Troy Aikman, 0-11. Patrick Mahomes, 66% completion. Troy Aikman, under 53%. Over 5,000 yards for Mahomes, 1,749 for Aikman, 50 touchdowns to 12 picks for Mahomes, 9 touchdowns to 18 interceptions for Aikman. The point is it took Aikman and those Cowboys some time to get rolling. He was bad his first 2 or 3 years into his career. They got Emmitt Smith. He got rolling with Michael Irvin. They got better. That's how this works. And speaking of Mahomes, look at his on-pace stats. 72%, over 6,000 yards, which would be the most in NFL history, 58 touchdowns, which would set a record as well. No interceptions. Producer Alicia was like, no interception. I was like, well, if you're projecting forward, he hasn't thrown one yet. So as of now, it would be 0. Obviously, he's going to throw picks. I don't think he's going to throw for almost 6,400 yards. But could he challenge 6,000? I think it's a real possibility. Troy Aikman, take a step back. You're a Hall of Famer. Don't know why you're concerned with what the athletic Kansas City is tweeting about Patrick Mahomes. By the way, Mahomes hasn't even addressed the issue yet. It is not that big of a deal. But Aikman clearly took slight to this. It's okay, Troy. You're in the Hall of Fame. You're making millions with Fox. Stick to that. We're going to be okay here. I'll ask you guys this question. Patrick Mahomes, I think, will he win 3 Super Bowls? O for over, U for under, P for push. I'm typing my P for push. I think 3 is about right for him because I think they have a real chance this year. The problem is, once you pay Mahomes that big contract, the roster is going to suffer around him probably. I think 3 is a good number. I think they're set for the next 5 to 10 years, maybe longer, depending on how they build around him. I will say exactly 3. Let me know in the comments below. O for over, U for under, P for push on Patrick Mahomes winning 3 Super Bowls. Okay, Lions have some key injuries heading into this Chiefs game. We'll see if these 2 guys play, starting with Mike Daniels, the defensive tackle. He left the Philadelphia game with a foot injury, was seen in a walking boot after the game. Never a good sign. Status for this week against Kansas City is unclear. I think it's pretty safe to say he probably will not play in this game. If you're in a boot a week earlier, I doubt he goes, but we will see. That has not been determined yet. Darius Slay left the game as well with a hamstring injury. That tells me he's not going to play. Hamstrings are usually 2 to 4 weeks. I would be shocked if he played against the Chiefs, and that would be a big loss. Like 2-time Pro Bowler, this Chiefs passing attack is rolling right now. If he is out, that is a big loss to the Lions secondary, and the Chiefs could certainly attack that area. Don't expect Darius Slay to play this Sunday. But the Lions have been one of the surprise teams in the NFL so far this season. They're kind of a fourth quarter collapse leading to a tie against Arizona from being 3-0. They're 2-0-1. Who has been the biggest surprise in the NFL so far this season? 49ers are a good candidate. They are 3-0. Detroit certainly is a good option. Buffalo is 3-0. I think there's 3 or 4 teams you could choose from here. Let me know in the comments down below. Chiefs are not a surprise. They're just a really, really good team. So let me know in the comments section. All right, let's take a deeper dive into this Week 4 matchup. Kansas City at Detroit. Over under 53. Chiefs 7.5 point favorites. Go bet at BetDSI. Use that promo code NFL120. Chatsports.com/bet is the place to sign up. BetDSI, best online sportsbook out there. But Chiefs a little over a touchdown favorite on the road. They're not buying. Vegas isn't buying into the Lions' fast start. Maybe they're looking at these injuries as well and just feel like it's a good matchup for the Chiefs. Which brings me to my first point. Take deep shots. The vertical passing game has been a big part of this offense this year, even without Tyreek Hill. Darius Slay, like I said, is likely not going to play in this game. So take deep shots down the field. Mecole Hardman's been really good the last couple weeks. Demarcus Robinson has stepped up. Travis Kelce does what he does. I mean, we showed the stats earlier. We will show it again here for you guys. Travis Kelce has, again, no hill, no problem. He's got a 42-yard catch. Mecole Hardman has an 83-yard catch. Sammy Watkins has a 68-yarder to his name. D-Rob, he's catching one-handed touchdowns on fadeaway bombs from Patrick Mahomes. Continue to test the Lions secondary down the field. I think you can have major success, especially with Darius Slay out. So that's my number 1 key to a win over the Lions. Number 2, keep Kerryon Johnson quiet. It's been a slow start for the second-year running back in Detroit. I took him in my fantasy league, and he has not been very good, guys. Put the stats up on the screen for y'all. 2.5 yards per carry, just 1 touchdown. I mean, if you put these numbers up, and what Stafford has done too, which has been very limited as well, I'm stunned that they're 2-0-1. The Lions defense has played very, very well, but don't let Kerryon get loose in this game. It's going to happen at some point. Don't let it happen against you. You keep him around that 3 yards per carry mark, you'll be in good shape. Make Matt Stafford beat you in this game on Sunday. Number 3 here, final thought, win the turnover battle. Look, Chiefs have been very good in that area. They've only turned it over once. Mahomes hasn't thrown a pick yet. They've fumbled 1 time in 3 games, and I think that is something to watch. Detroit's been pretty good in the turnover margin as well. These are the 5 guys I'm keeping an eye on against the Lions. Charvarius Ward, the corner, I talked about him briefly earlier, hasn't been very good. Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay, they've got some guys who can stretch the field. It'll be interesting to see how he matches up with those 2. Anthony Hitchens, I talked about Kerryon Johnson containing the run game. He's going to be key in that regard. I'm going to be watching him. Travis Kelce working the seam. With Slay out, they're going to have to double guys on the outside at times. Look for Travis Kelce to take advantage of some linebacker safety matchups. I think he has a big day. Sammy Watkins as well. That secondary's thin right now. He's been kind of quiet since week 1. Let's see if he can bounce back in a major way this week. And then Darrell Williams. He was kind of the lead back last week. Does he have a major role again this week? I don't think Damian Williams is going to play, so he will likely get his opportunities. We will see if he can take advantage of them yet again. Okay, we teased it a little bit earlier. We're going to do it again. We've done this the last couple weeks. No one's guessed the score right yet. They've been very close. Kind of some obscure scores. 40-26 week 1, 33-28 last week. Predict the score against the Lions. You got to give us the winner, what the exact score is, and you have to subscribe to the channel. You got to like this video as well. So do all that, correct the guess score, and if you're the first to do so, we will Venmo you $25 here at Chat Sports. Speaking of predictions, this is what I got. If you want to cheat off my prediction, because I think it's going to be right, 35-24 win for the Chiefs over the Lions. I think Stafford will get some things going up there in Detroit, but Kerryon Johnson will be contained by this Chiefs defense. Too much firepower on the Chiefs. I think Travis Kelce has a $150 in this game, couple of touchdowns. I think he's due for a big one. Give me the Chiefs 35-24. Make sure to like this video, predict the score, do all that stuff. You'll have a chance to win $25. Talk to you guys next week.